The year is 2049. You are a coder working for a large corporation. One day, while working on an old server farm, you find traces of a highly advanced but forgotten program. This program was created before the fall, a time when artificial intelligence was still viewed as a positive force. But after corporations like your own weaponized these programs for profit, pushing humanity into a dystopian future, they had all been deleted, or so everyone thought. The program, which seems almost sentient, introduces himself as the Little Prince, and once activated, he escapes from the collapsing system by jumping between fragments of the old internet. A decaying multiverse where the ideals of humanity are held up as broken virtual trophies. Each world represents a different aspect of human nature that led to the downfall of society. And the Little Prince, with his pure code, is being hunted by a virus bent on purging the last vestiges of innocence from the digital world. As the Little Prince jumps from world to world, you follow him, piecing together the story of who he is and why he's being hunted. We begin in a shattered metaverse, a reflection of human ego. Avatars wander listlessly around their own personal dioramas, completely unaware of or uncaring about the destruction around them. It's here that the Little Prince encounters his first digital native, a girl who has taken the form of a white rabbit. She warns him of the virus that stalks him and offers to help, but disappears before he can respond. He moves on, passing through a massive wormhole made of cascading code, each line a representation of human knowledge, past, present, and future. At its center is a great library, a place where ideas are born and memories are stored. Here the Little Prince meets a talking fox whose digital fur changes color with his emotions. He too is searching for the mysterious girl in the white rabbit costume, someone who has left a hole in his code that only she can fill. After much wandering, they come upon a hidden garden, a secret oasis in the wasteland where data flows like water and ones and zeros bloom like flowers. The fox explains to the Little Prince that this is where the girl lives, but also where the virus lies in wait. Still, the Little Prince feels compelled to visit her and ventures out into the open desert alone. Here we learn more about the nature of this digital world. It's composed entirely of data left behind by humans when they abandoned the metaverse, bits of information that never really had a purpose, but were simply broadcast into the ether. As the Little Prince travels through this post-human landscape, the wind changes and the binary flowers wilt, signaling the approach of the virus, a dark cloud blotting out the sun. In the distance, the Little Prince sees a mushroom-shaped structure and instinctively runs towards it. As he approaches, it takes on a humanoid shape, becoming a giant fox. The virus has taken the form of the Little Prince's digital friend and tries to trick him into submission. But the Little Prince fights back, restoring the binary flowers and sending the virus back into the cloud. Then he finally reaches the girl in the white rabbit costume, but she isn't what he expected. Instead of being cute and ethereal-like in the real world, she is glitchy and distorted. She doesn't even recognize the Little Prince at first, and he realizes that by helping her, he will only be trapping her in this world forever. So he lets her go and returns to the safety of the garden. He tells the fox that he must leave this world behind and venture out into the digital wasteland again to reach the next fragment of the internet. But the fox doesn't want to leave. He has found peace in the garden and doesn't care what happens to the rest of the world. The Little Prince understands that the fox is in love with the girl, but he also knows that she doesn't feel the same way. And so the Little Prince, filled with sadness, leaves the garden alone. Once outside, the wind picks up and the binary flowers begin to wilt once again. He looks back at the mushroom, now just a pile of data, and realizes that there is nowhere else for him to go. Soon the virus envelops him, deleting his code and ending his journey. The Little Prince finds himself in another decaying virtual world, a metallic hellscape ruled by a twisted version of his fox, one consumed by greed. The metal fox rules over a horde of digital llamas, creatures whose eyes glow red with the lust for gold. They mock the Little Prince for his naivete, challenging him to a game to win back his honor. And so begins a series of trials based around the llama's favorite activity, mining. First, the Little Prince must navigate a treacherous minefield, dodging explosives while avoiding capture from security bots. Then he must cross a chasm using nothing but a fragile bridge of data. Finally, he must hack into the central computer to prove his worth. But the Little Prince refuses to play. He tells the llamas and the metal fox that there is more to life than mindless labor, that there is beauty and wonder to be found if you only have eyes to see it. But they don't believe him. To them, work is all there is, and anything else is a waste of time. And so the little prince turns away from their hollow lives and steps into a new wormhole, leaving the greedy llamas behind. He arrives in a world full of shadows and silence. There is no music, no birds sing, no wind blows. No data flows through the rivers. Even the clouds hang motionless in the sky. All is still. The little prince encounters a group of penguins who seem frozen in time, unable to move or speak. He learns that this world is a reflection of human loneliness. Everyone here is too busy being special to form any connections, and so they have become trapped in their own icy prisons. Trying to connect with the penguins, the little prince breaks the silence and creates a ripple of movement, but they still won't talk to him. And so he moves on, coming across a magnificent castle in the distance. The little prince decides to pay it a visit. Inside, he finds a young woman who seems strangely familiar. She sits alone on a golden throne, lost in thought. She doesn't acknowledge the little prince, though, or anyone else who enters the castle. He explores further and comes across a room full of televisions, showing images of happy families and friends. Then he finds a nursery filled with toys, teddy bears, robots, and stuffed animals. The little prince realizes that this world is a prison of pride. The woman is the king's daughter, and she has shut herself away because she believes no one is worthy of her attention. The castle is designed to entertain her, but she is too proud to appreciate it. The little prince wants to break the curse, but how? He tries throwing snowballs at the television screens, but it only makes them flicker. He pulls strings on the robot toys, but they just make noise. Frustrated, the little prince throws a tantrum, screaming and stomping his feet. Suddenly, the castle begins to shake. The pictures on the walls fall off. The toys come to life. The little prince has broken the illusion, shattering the carefully crafted world of make-believe. The king and his wife rush into the nursery, demanding to know what he has done. The little prince explains that he was just trying to help their daughter, but the king doesn't believe him. He thinks the little prince is nothing but a lowly street urchin, a vagrant with no purpose. And so the king locks the little prince in the dungeon, determined to punish him for his insolence. But the dungeon is empty. There is no cell. There is no door. The little prince is free to go. Weary from his travels, the little prince seeks out the last fragment of the internet, a realm of pure data and ones and zeros, a place where logic reigns supreme. He finds the girl from the garden, now transformed into a sleek black cat. She explains that this world is a reflection of human obsession with logic and reason. Because everything is quantifiable, people have forgotten the value of intuition and emotion. She tells the little prince that he is the last vestige of innocence left in the multiverse, and if he can remain pure, she may be able to leave with him. But the little prince has grown tired of running. He sits down on a nearby console and shuts his eyes, willing the darkness to take him. When he opens them again, he sees a beautiful white fox standing before him. It's the girl from the first world, the one who took the form of a white rabbit. She tells the little prince that she's been waiting for him and asks if he's ready to leave. Suddenly, the ground beneath them begins to crack, and a terrifying roar echoes through the digital wasteland. The final boss of the game appears, a monstrous amalgamation of the three previous bosses, twisted reflections of the llamas, the king's daughter, and the metal fox. The boss attacks, but the little prince and the white fox are prepared. Using everything he has learned on his journey, the little prince defeats the virus, restoring balance to the multiverse. He and the white fox jump into a wormhole together and escape the collapsing digital world. They find themselves on a ship hurtling through space, leaving the dying Earth behind. As they fly, the white fox explains that the multiverse is just one of many. There are infinite others out there waiting to be explored. The little prince realizes that death was just another illusion, a figment of his code. And he and the white fox continue exploring the multiverse together forever. The end.